We are welcome to FD Sciences. So we are going to be treating on the phylum Apicomplexia. So the phylum Apicomplexia, and what is the meaning of Apicomplexia? Like we said in our former class that Apicomplexia, what gives it its name is because of the apical form, because of this apex form, like the shape it has as its apex. So at the apex of this phylum Apicomplexia, it consists of a complicated apex, and which contains the rock trace. It contains the rock trace, the micronyms, the polar rings, the conoid, and the subpellicular tube. So these are what are found at the apex of the phylum Apicomplexia. Then these Apicomplexia, they are further classified into two classes, named the class Porosia and the class Perkinsia. Then let's look to the class Sporosia. Coming to the class Porosia, we have two other subclasses. We have three subclasses: the Gregarina here, the Gregarina, the Coecidia, and the Pyroplasmia. Then this Gregarina, it is of economical importance. Then coming to the Coecidia, it is further classified into two others, Emerina and Hemosperina, which are further classified into genus, that is, in general, the Emerina and the Toxoplasma species. That is the genera of this order, Emerina. Here, this order, Emerina. Then coming to the order, Hemosperina, we have one family known as the Plasmodium, which contains, like the part we are going to study in this class, which is Plasmodium. Plasmodium species. So we are done with Coecidia. Let's move to the Pyroplasma. The Pyroplasma is characterized for insects or parasites that inhabit the red blood cells. There are parasites of vertebrates that inhabit the red blood cells, and are classified into two others, the Babesia and the Theileria, which causes theileriosis. Then coming to the features of this phylum Apicomplexia. So I'm going to explain the features according to both the classes of the features. So the one feature you know about this Apicomplexia is that they have no locomotory organs. Rather, even if they have locomotory organs, they have it at the garments. They don't have it for movement. They don't use it for movement, but they have it at garment, which is, they have it only in the microgarments. They have the locomotory organs only in the microgarment. They don't have it as locomotory movement. They don't have it for locomotory movement, but they don't have it for gametogenesis. That is during the form of gametogony. So they have it in the microgarments. These locomotory organs, they are only found in the microgarments, so they don't have locomotory organs for movement. Then another feature is syngamy. That is, they reproduce by sexual means. They reproduce by sexual means. Then the next we have here is schizogony. That is sexual multiplication, like multiplication before it turns to. After schizogony, you find what you call gametogony. Gametogony is process of producing the sex organs, and also blood reproduction is being taking place. Then after gametogony, we find sporogony. Sporogony is just the production of spores and other things. It's one characteristic of this phylum Apicomplexia. Then also you should note that this Apicomplexia, each oocyst in Apicomplexia contains the infective stage known as the sporozoids. Each oocyst contains one sporozoid. Each contains sporozoids. So what is oocyst? Oocyst is one of the forms it takes during its life cycle. So we are going to explain this oocyst when it comes to life cycle. Life cycle of Plasmodium species. Let's look to the life cycle of Plasmodium species. So we have two main stages. We have three main stages in this life cycle of this Plasmodium species, and the three main stages are the schizogony, the sexual phase, and the sporogony. Then coming to the first stage, which is known as the pseudogony, it is being classified into two groups of stages. It's classified into the erythrocytic stage and also the erythrocytic stage or cycle. The first classification of the pseudogony is the exoerythrocytic cycle, which is found in the liver cells or within the liver cells. Then the second stage, which is the erythrocytic cycle, is found in the red blood cells. These red blood cells. Then the sexual phase and the sporogony. So we're going to be looking at this life cycle accordingly, making use of these stages that have been studied. So we're going to be starting with, let's start with the human host. That is when it's being injected into the human skin. Like we all know that the sporozoites, like I said earlier, the sporozoites, this is the infective stage of this Plasmodium species. Note that the sporozoite is the infective stage of Plasmodium species. So it's being injected by a mosquito. And when it's being injected by a mosquito, it disappears from the area of injection and also from blood circulation and moves to the liver. It moves to the liver cells, and when it enters the liver cells, it turns into seasons. Then from liver cells, it moves out from the liver cells and enters into the red blood cells. In the red blood cells, it has three stages that happens in the red blood cells: the merozoites, the trophozoites, and the seasons. Let me explain. In these red blood cells, as it comes from the liver to the red blood cells, it changes to the merozoites. As it enters the red blood cells, it enters like a merozoite. At this stage of liver cells, it changes from its form to merozoites, which enters the red blood cells. Then in the red blood cells, the vacuole of the red blood cells, which covers these merozoites, leads it to form what we call the trophozoites. When it's being covered by the vacuole of the red blood cells, it leads to what we call the trophozoites. Then after the trophozoites undergo several changes or stages, which leads to seasons. Then these seasons release what we call, still moves back to these merozoites. From seasons, it moves back to the merozoites. Then the merozoites has to reinvade the walls again, the walls of the red blood cells, causing more harm. Do you see? After the seasons, it reinvades the wall of the red blood cells, causing more harm. Then at that stage, it produces the gametophytes, that is the cellular organs for the parasite. Then it produces what? The gametophytes, which is being picked by the insect that transmit this malaria parasite, known as the sporozoites, that is the infective stage. So as it transfers, as these merozoites, which invades the red blood cells, are being dispersed on the skin and other parts that the insect can easily get it through blood meal, then it changes to these two forms, which are the microgametes and the macrogametes. The microgamete is for the male gametes, while the macrogamete is for the female gametes. So the microgametes and the microgametes, which is the male gamete, and the macrogamete, which is the female gamete, are produced. This is an example. Are produced inside the human host. So now, as they are produced inside the human host, as we know that the parasites, the insect in charge, that is the vector, during blood meal, takes these gametes, it injects it into his body through feeding, and when it injects into his body, the two gametes here, they now combine together. That is, they fuse together. That is cellular reproduction. They fuse together, and the way they fuse is that this male gamete, which is known as the microgamete, multiplies and develops flagella, which it uses to move towards the macrogamete. So what do you note here? That you should note that this microgamete is motile. That is, it moves. by developing this flagella, which moves to the female garment, which is the macro garment for reproduction. Then when this is formed, when they reproduce, they produce what? By reproduction, they get what you call zygote. And this zygote develops into okinate. The okinate develops into okinate. The okinate helps the zygote to penetrate into the walls, into the stomach walls of the insects. That is, let me say anything at all. So it helps it in penetration into the stomach walls of the insect. And when it penetrates into the stomach walls of the insect, it's now formed what we call the oocyst, which is found at the stomach walls of the insect. So where are oocysts formed? They are found at the stomach walls of the insect. Then from oocyst, like I said at the features, that the oocyst produces each sporozoids. And what are the sporozoids? Like we all know that sporozoids are the infertile stage of this Plasmodium species. So from sporozoids, the sporozoids is what they inject into human. That is how the life cycle continues to its finishes. Then, what you should know about the Plasmodium species, that there are other species of Plasmodium. There are major species we have in Plasmodium, which are the falciparum, that is Plasmodium falciparum, the vivax, the Malaria, and the ovale. Then I'm going to be explaining this falciparum, vivax, Malaria, and ovale according to life cycle. What you should know about this Malaria, vivax, ovale, and falciparum, their life cycle differs. But it differs with the time of inoculation and the form in which they exist in the human host and also in this vector here. So coming to the falciparum, when it enters the red blood cells, its life cycle in the red blood cells is 72 hours. That is for falciparum. It takes 72 hours for the falciparum to develop in the red blood cells. Then for the vivax, for this vivax and ovale, it takes them 36 to 48 hours to develop. For the vivax and ovale, it takes them 36 to 48 hours to develop. That is for the vivax and ovale. And also, in this vivax and ovale, they are known as hypozoids. And when they are known as hypozoids, this is when, let's take a look at the life cycle of these malaria parasites. When these sporozoids are injected by mosquito, at these liver cells, these two species of Plasmodium, the vivax and ovale, they become dormant. That is, their life cycle, let me just assume that they become dormant, they don't move at all, like they don't partake as falciparum continues with the life cycle. They stop at that point, and they are known as hypozoids. At this stage, at the liver cells, they are known as hypozoids, in which they are dormant at this stage. So this is all you need to know about the life cycle. That the human host gets injected by the mosquito, and sporozoids enters. It enters the liver cells, in which the ovale and vivax turn into dormant stages, which is known as the hypozoids. Then from hypozoids, it moves to the red blood cells and changes to merozoids. Then merozoids is transferred to trophozoids, then seasons. That's all you need to do. Then the seasons moves back to its form, which is the merozoids, in which the merozoids reinvades the body cells and the blood vessels of this human host, where the insects during blood milk takes these gametocytes into his body. That is, the insect takes it back. Then fission, that is cellular reproduction, happens inside the body of the insects here by the fusion of the microgametes and the macrogametes. Then forming of zygote, oocyst, which is formed by the penetration of the okinate and forms what? Oocyst. Then oocyst produces sporozoids. That is it. So let's look at the pathology of this Plasmodium species. That is the symptoms and disease effect. So, looking at the pathology of this Plasmodium species.
Is your voice?
Here we have cold shivering. That is cold shivering. These are symptoms one will start having, and you know that he is being infected by this Plasmodium species. Then raising of temperature, headache, fever, cerebral malaria, anemia. So coming to this cerebral malaria. Cerebral malaria is being caused by this Plasmodium parasite. This is when it breaks through the veins and the capillaries of the brain vessels. It breaks through them and causes bleeding. That is, it causes hemorrhage when it breaks through them. So it can cause cerebral malaria, and this can lead to death. That is excessive hemorrhage. That is when blood moves out profusely in large quantity. Then coming to the anemia, like I talked in the life cycle that it reinvades the red blood cells. So at this point of reinvasion into the red blood cells, it can cause anemia, that is loss of blood, and is one of the diseases of the red blood cells. Then coming to the epidemiology of this Plasmodium species, what you should know is that P. vivax is the most prevalent Plasmodium species, while the P. falciparum is the most pathogenic to human host. P. falciparum is the most pathogenic to human host. Then, this malaria disease can be transferred by different methods. It can be transferred by blood transfusion, that is accidental blood transfusion. Like you might go to the hospital mistakenly during blood transfusion, they might put a patient suffering from malaria parasite, they might inject the blood into your own blood system, and also afterwards it gets to your blood. You easily get this malaria parasite through blood transfusion. Then also by hypodermic needles, that is used needles they use to inject another person. It can also cause this malaria parasite. Then coming to the diagnosis and treatment of malaria parasites. The diagnosis and treatment of malaria parasites. So what you should know about this malaria parasites is that for you to avoid it, that is for you to avoid the infection, you should make use of insecticide nets. The insecticide net can help you to avoid this infection, because when the malaria parasite is born, it will not be able to enter into your body or inoculate anything into your body. Then also cleaning of your environment, cleaning of stagnant water or any collection of water on gutters. That is one way you can remove this form of malaria parasites in your environment, and also to avoid it from getting into your body. Then coming to the diagnosis of malaria parasites. What you should know about this diagnosis of malaria parasites is that using the lancet is just like a pin. The lancet is just like a pin instrument. You pierce it at the finger, that is the first finger here. When you pierce it, a blood is being made. And when the blood is formed from the piercing, you place the blood on two slides. You place the blood on two slides. The first blood placement should be a thin placement. Then the second blood placement should be a thick placement. Then it's being viewed on the microscope. It's being viewed on the microscope after this placement. The slide, you view them singly. That is, after viewing this thin slide, on the microscope, you place it on the base and view it. After viewing it, you also view the thick slide they have made with the blood. They want you to know that how can you know that this one is having malaria parasite by viewing this blood. You can know this when you see, assume that this is the blood vessel. You can know that this person is having malaria parasite by seeing a dot at this blood vessel. When you view a dot at the center of the blood vessel samples or the blood cell, you know that the blood sample, you know that the patient is suffering from malaria parasite, or is having this infection, malaria parasite. So coming to the treatment of this malaria parasite, that is the treatment. We treat it by anti-malaria drugs, which are the artemisinin, the chloroquine, the quinine, and also the sulfodiazide pyrimethamine. That is the four main drugs that can help in treatment of this malaria parasite. That is artemisinin, the chloroquine, the quinine, and sulfodiazide perematine. That is what you should use in treating malaria parasites. So we have treated on the pathology, epidemiology, diagnosis, and treatment of malaria parasites. So don't forget to like and share to your friends who are medical students. And also you can gain knowledge by listening to this our channel, by following us on you can just subscribe to our channel, follow, and comment on the comment section. Tell us your experience and how you have learned a lot from this class. Thank you and God bless you.